flooding our hearts. At the privatesectoract.com, that's where it starts, singing our song. What's going on? United we stand strong. Let's have some masses of chambers, email form. While you're taking the foreclosure, treat it as a casino game. This one is all about special session. Things you need to know. What's a special session? A special session down in the Court of Queen's Bench means it's outside the norm. If you take a look at foreclosure situations, outside the norm would be this. 5 people showing up, because the norm, as the judges see it and the master chamber see it all the time, is only a lawyer shows up. Now, only if a lawyer shows up, it's kind of silly. The judge and the lawyer get into some type of dialogue, a little dance, and at the end of it, nobody's there to defend themselves. Just take the house. But really, that is the norm. When one guy shows up, and that's the lawyer, and nobody there to defend themselves. In this situation, it should just be shot off to a special, because 5 people showed up. 5 different entities showed up, so this should be, by definition, it is a special session. Special session now would be booked, and you actually get a courtroom for 3 hours. The privatesectoract.com want to do is get that special session and get everybody in there. If you want to come and sit down in the courthouse, there's sitting room. We want your support there, and it should be there. The norm in foreclosure situations that judges see and master of chambers that see this, lawyers showing up, and nobody there to defend themselves because the guy who was getting foreclosed on didn't even show up. Out of 50 cases, 48 of them is a lawyer stating facts and nobody there to defend themselves. So that's the norm. And now you can define the special. There is, well, the foreclosure guy showed up, the guy who's being foreclosed on. Guess what? He was told to sell the home, so he did. And he brought the buyer, which is amazing. Now, how is that guy buying it? He needs third-party financing, because in any kind of real estate deal, third-party financing is very, very important, because how many of us walk around with 500 grand, 400 grand, 200 grand on us? We have to go and get third-party financing. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 entities plus the lawyer who's working on the bank side. That's 5 entities. Now that's special compared to one. When just one entity shows up, it's a lawyer, and nobody there to defend themselves. That's the norm. The special is obviously when 5 different entities come and show up. That should be moved right to a special session in order to keep the Canadian courts fair and moving towards progress. Why do the judges act the way they do? Why do the lawyers act the way they do? Most people, once we give them this information, it goes, oh, that makes sense now. The Court of Queen's Bench sells judgments and debt on the world market because they're interacting with your person as your chief executive officer status. They're selling judgments. What does that mean? The world market buys judgments. Well, what do they do with it after? Well, that's what the world markets are for. They actually sell judgments to the world market. It's been around forever. We're just becoming conscious and aware of it as the private sector. The Court of Queen's Bench is listed on the world market. If they're listed on the world market, they have a conflict of interest. Conflict of interest. As a human rights activist, what we need you to do is we will sign agency over to you, every one of these people, so you can start interacting with the lawyers, and they, by law, would have to interact with you because it's just agency of human rights away from people if they say they're not going to interact with their chosen agent. If you just want to complaint, complaint sheet up there for the lawyers, for sure, where the information is, where to send it. This is what we need to do. Sign up, become a human rights activist, get involved. The big reality of it is that you get to talk to the lawyers, and lawyers have to talk back to you. Peace out. Another little thing you needed to know. All right, guys, all go. Keep going. All right, see you on the next one. Later would be great to click away. Peace out. Let's have some masses of chambers. Email phone.